There we go. I so clicked the wrong button. Gotta love that. Sorry about that, y'all. We figured some things out, lost some things in transition. Things happen. It happens.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties, but working to solving technical difficulties.
Every single day.
Yes.
You're in the box. That's okay.
Well, we're gonna be starting off this year. Sorry about no stream last week. I was sick. I'll be the one to come out and say I was sick. Still a little sick. We're getting better though. No COVID, thankfully. I don't believe we have any extra announcements or anything going on for right now. So
Happy New Year's, everyone. That's
Happy
the
New
announcement.
Year.
that is the announcement. Happy New Year's. Let's delve in and see where the party takes us. I can't even say where the plot takes us. Let's see where the party takes us.
We threw the plot out a long time ago. I can pretty much show you back in the notes exactly where the plot died.
Well, tell us about the plot right now, Asger.
The plot currently is thickening quite quickly, I would say, because of a certain somebody looking down from me. But we kicked off last episode jumping pretty much straight into a boss fight, which was wonderful and terrifying, and many of us maybe should have been a little bit more concerned about the first saving roll that we made in that fight than possible saving rolls later on in the future. We were fighting a wonderful evil giant fish monster known as an aberration.
Aberration.
Aboleth.
Aboleth,
That's what it is.
aberration. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I was like,
Not the same thing.
I have like the mental image of what the fuck the thing is. And I was like, I can't remember its name anymore. That's a problem.
Yep. An Aboleth is an aberration class monster that is renowned for its glistening 3 eyes and its tendency to lurk in the deep and mentally compel minions to do its bidding.
Speaking of mentally bidding its minions, we all pretty much failed that first saving throw, like I mentioned, and thusly,
Oh.
we all became minions, other than Mila. Mila was our one and only.
Not her. Zastrava also was.
But Zastrava succumbed in other ways. But we'll
I
get
was like, the Strava wasn't standing long enough to have decided to have become a minion or not. And thusly, we leave Zastrava to the side, who was thankfully quite quickly whisked away by Mila to safety. And then we all had a nice chase scene of the party going after those two, in which we then remembered we had protection from good and evil cast on us, which may or may not have this wonderful little side effect of not being able to be mind controlled.
We're possessed.
I thought it was advantage. I'm sorry. I can't help
We
it.
all have those. We all have those moments. But so instead of
keep
like
track of earlier
retconning a
preparation.
few rounds of combat, we just had it. You know, the magic finally kind of really set in for us and everything. Once we actually had our own, you know, working minds again, Asger being Asger headed straight back inside that cave. Mila had absolutely no interest in helping any of us because she was still pretty convinced, very, you know, understandably, that we were all still brainless, mindless, evil zombie monsters who were wearing the faces of her friends. So, Asger started walking back. Cypher tried to convince Asger that she shouldn't walk back. I don't know why Cypher didn't try to charm the very low wisdom paladin into walking away, but instead, when Shirku also decided that they wanted revenge on the fish that had taken over their mind, Cypher decided that low intelligence fighter style character was the one to charm, to have them. I don't remember the exact charm that you used. I have no idea where my notes went.
It was a will save.
It was, but Cypher's sentence that they put together for like what you had to do was exquisitely well constructed. And I was like,
you
God
want to
damn.
leave and regroup.
Yeah,
That's
leave
what it
and
was.
regroup.
It was just, you know, it wasn't like a, we're just going to turn this around kind of a thing. Like, It was a whole fucking mess, is what it was. So Asger, being Asger, continued to go in there and whatever, thinking that backup was coming. And at some point, backup was coming. Asger made her way up to the doorway, saw Cypher behind her, was thinking, okay, I will work my way in and kind of try to draw the thing out with my usual ability to kind of keep things in combat with myself. And then I've got then I've got Shirku to, be my big hitting melee monster that Shirku is. Unfortunately, that is not at all how that worked out, even a little bit. The evil fish monster pulled me under the water, and after doing so, I thankfully got some divine smites. But while we put a pin in Asger for a minute, Mila and Shirku had the most best friend bonding moment that has ever existed in D&D ever. It was beautiful. If you didn't watch last episode, you need to go back to watch last episode just for that moment. The rest of the episode is great, but that moment, top tier. Things
Somehow
I will remember came forever.
That was unconvincing for me. It was just a dice roll.
It was so good.
The die roll reinforced the notion of our friendship. Validated, if you will.
I'm not very good at doing apologies, so that worked real nice.
Mm-hmm.
So while that beautiful moment was happening, we got Zastrava back up on her feet, who was like, fuck that sea monster, I'm coming for it. And she started coming with a certain cat with extraordinarily powerful guns. Asger, under the water, decided to holy smite the shit out of the giant fish in just hopes of I gotta kind of try to fend for myself. If my giant hitting monster isn't going to be here, I have to do my best to fill in and attempt to get myself out of the water and away from the evil fish monster. In which case, certain said cat with giant guns came and just pointed guns straight down. And I was like, this is Asger's moment. She's gone. I was gonna say, this is the moment. She dies. I was like, she's been an asshole to this cat, because this cat is an asshole. He's gonna get away with murder right here, and there is nothing I can do about it. That was I dug myself this grave, and I will sit in it. Thankfully, he did not shoot Asger. Did shoot the giant abomination. The Strava came and basically finished it off real quick and lickety-split with her amazing fireball skills, which have basically been the godsend of spells that any of us have used at all. I think Zastrava's kill count with that fireball is really quite quickly catching up with Shirku.
If not exceeding it.
Shirku has a lot of kills. I will not discount the amount of murder machine that half-orc is.
Yeah, I gotta stoke the confrontation there, so that way, Shirku and Zastrava start butting heads.
we had a nice touching moment at the end where Cypher got to have a little one-on-one talk with his, dark evil BFF about his lack of ability to do the plans and keep a certain fish monster safe. So we'll see what happens with that.
I don't think I talked to him at all about that.
I thought you did. I'm almost positive there was some kind of... Was it, or did you talk to the fish?
I talked to the fish a few times.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
For whatever reason, I thought you went to the fish's boss.
No, he didn't talk to the boss yet. Just to the fish. The fish got slaughtered after the
boss is
mind control. After the mind control passed away, finally it got slaughtered.
Well, and with that, I'm going to hit that, and we find yourselves regrouping, heading back with Ellen back to the city.
Yep. And Shirku's taking a walk to cool off.
As you guys get to the town gate, what time was it? I don't remember. I think it was super early in the morning.
Yeah, because we got there super late at night the night before.
Yeah, so it's 3 a.m., give or take. The guards, initially seeing you, are like walking to the gate, are like, "Halt! Who goes there?" And then Evelyn just comes forward. "Excuse me, you need to make it back into my shop, please. No one's allowed into the gates before. Please go and get the lieutenant for us, and then let us through." You hear some dissension among the top. "You will wait right there." And one of the guards you see leave the top of the gate.
Asger's taking notes on how to be an authority figure.
Meanwhile, no one's just questioning them being covered in aberration blood.
Oh yeah, we look like a mess.
Most definitely. Some of you more of a mess than others.
Oh yeah.
Cypher looks wonderful.
I do.
And Circle looks wonderful too because he was in the fight.
Shirku's
don't think
axe
Mila
is a
got
little red. I didn't know if Mila was in Mila form or in Dino form, and I didn't know if Mila had been hit either.
Probably
like I have-
by now. Probably back by now since it's a bit of a trip.
It's like a 30-minute trip, yeah. Okay.
I've got some holy clothing.
Yep.
Who has bandages?
After about
Asger is wet. It's just there's like blood still kind of coming out of the armor and just wet.
After about 40 minutes, you watch as you hear, like, those of you who are perceptive here running up the stairs, some small whispering, and then you watch as the gates just open in front of you. "Thank you." And Evelyn starts leading the way back to her shop. I don't know if you guys are following or if you have other plans.
I'm following. I don't
I'm
have
following.
any plans, and after that night,
Getting back to the mansion sounds wonderful.
yeah,
This is like the motherly NPC that we have like as a group attached ourselves to.
Nothing wrong with that.
Circle Art now needs he needs a cup of meat right now.
She leads the way back to the Black Quill. You watch as she, like, waves her hand, and you watch as this blue spelled mist just evaporates. And then she opens the door. Hurry in, hurry in.
Well, that's finally over with at least.
Yes, do you want me to be coming along with you, or should I make my way back to my ship?
I'm not the owner of the shop.
What was that, Shirka?
I'm not the owner of the shop.
Oh,
Evelyn,
the owner of the shop.
Evelyn looks to you guys like she could care less.
Well, I couldn't care.
Asger will just look at him and
These
just,
shots of Strava.
"You're welcome to join us, but I imagine your ship would probably be more to your personal taste."
Most
Her
likely,
food
yes.
is delicious.
Yeah, it is. I can't deny you there.
I just see I just imagine the seed from I don't know, Mulan or whatever. Like Strava, would you like to stay for dinner? Evelyn, would you like to stay forever?
There you go.
Nice.
Guess we're all going in then.
Yeah.
Evelyn lets you in. You see that the door to the mansion's already open for you guys as you get in. She's like, I must take care of a few things out here real quick, and then I will see you guys in there in a moment.
Very well.
Alright. Sounds fun to me.
And Debs kind of leads the way and loungily just stretches out on one of the chairs.
Mila gives chase the invisible servants for a bit. Will eventually find a high bookcase to glare at in depth from.
Kirku finds his way to the kitchen and meat.
The invisible servant is quick to come up with mead for you.
Thank you, good sir. Or ma'am, I don't know. You're invisible.
Yep. Hidden Depths looks to you, Asger. Now that that's said and done, what's our plan for the Gravenholds?
That is a wonderful question. As that, I think that the lieutenant would probably agree that they had some involvement in this, and thusly they would definitely be enemies of the town, and thusly more likely to be legally brought to justice by forceful means. Most likely. We'll have to discuss with the lieutenant, as that I would prefer to keep it more legal than unlegal, especially inside of the town that we just, I've regained access to at least being allowed into. And, if we saved this whole place, I would like to be able to enjoy some small part of it. And I will admit that I was maybe a little brash originally with them, as that I did not expect the fact that they were going to have a giant fish monster locked away in a cave just outside of town to destroy it. That was an aberration.
So speaking of said fish monster, we do know that they were using their not niece to ferry messages. Is there any chance that now that she, or perhaps even her father, has I would hope, and broken of the spell of the aberration, similar to how it controlled our minds, maybe they would have a better idea?
That is a very good point, and definitely let me go, and I'm gonna go try to find Evelyn real quick and see if she has a certain something.
A certain something.
To say it wasn't controlling the Gravenhold minds. Thing didn't seem like it would serve something, in my opinion.
Does it even necessarily have anything to... His men were attacked and captured by the thing, or something of the like. The ones that we fought the first time were not fighting under their own volition.
No, they looked dead, almost. Like
they weren't fighting. And I think, didn't we think that they were defectors from the Gravenholds originally?
That was our initial thoughts, yes. Annabelle, or Asger, sorry, as you go out to find Evelyn, you watch as she's waving her hand around and you see blue glyphs appearing on the door.
You're gonna pop her head out of the mansion door and just go, Evelyn, I know this is a long shot, but do you have any magical paper birds to send messages? You write messages on them and then you fold them into a little bird and they go fly away? They take your messages for you?
I don't have that, but I can send messages to people.
Oh, that's just as easy then. We were hoping to maybe get the mayor and the little one here, as that they would no longer be brainwashed by the fish monster.
Don't you have your own bird for that?
I don't.
No. Asger will just stick her head back in. No, it got blown up again.
Oh, that's more familiar.
Blown up, didn't it?
Yes.
I don't believe the mayor is going to be awake at this time. It is.
I don't know what time it is. That's a good point. She'll just go back inside the mansion.
I'm surprised I'm still awake.
Asger's gonna go up to everyone and be like, Evelyn may have mentioned that I have no idea what time it is, and thusly they're probably asleep.
I'm surprised I'm still awake still.
I think we're all kind of running on adrenaline from not dying at this point. I expect that brick wall to come soon.
I mean, we also just took a nap. I'm always up for another nap, too.
Mila doesn't like that she's vibing with in-depth statement there. I rather resent this.
Looks like everyone here would want to have that nap anyways.
Either way, it seems like the Gravenholds may be sending people to the giant fish monster who were enemies or people that they didn't want around, which would make me think that they're at least in some way in league with the giant fish monster.
I don't know about that. There might be two different parties.
I believe our original mission was, to locate the package and return it safely, unharmed, to the Gravenholds.
Alongside,
We're going to be in trouble.
unlike alongside the escorts, unless the escorts betrayed.
Yes, and she is the scaly feathery one is right. We might be a little bit in trouble because the package is not back to the Gravenholds.
There's a reason why I told them not to spread rumors too quickly. That's, to the towns and cities. That's hard to do.
Yes. As that we, if I recall, didn't Sophia get delivered to Lieutenant Arcane?
I think Lieutenant is coming here, and also I think he was returning her home.
Yes.
That's so true.
We didn't trust them. Well, we didn't trust the package with the Gravenholds. It just seemed like a bad idea.
Not disagreeing, but I'm just pointing out.
Continued probable cause for execution. I
just wanted to point out that the Aboleth might not have been working with them. It might be two separate people, and now, while we have Lieutenant Arcane on our side, and you're allowed back into the city.
We have the Mafia against us.
Yeah.
But we have an
We
Evelyn.
could go to the other continent for a while then.
Well, we still have a job to do to get rid of the Mafia, don't we?
I mean, all of you seem very focused on abandoning this place.
I'm just saying we go get power and come back more stronger.
I still want to. We still need to meet up with my father before we do anything else. Then we can head out.
I still like the idea of kicking the Gravenholds out.
And we can do that while waiting for my father to show up.
But I understand.
Do we have the means to? I mean, didn't we make an entire plan to deal with them because we couldn't deal with them head on?
What info?
That's the purpose of plans.
What info do we have on the Gravenholds that could help us form a plan on doing this idea?
What info would you like? I know a little bit here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Any probably would help. Garrisons, patrols, their operations from the day to day, their daily routines.
Some of that I don't know, just because I don't know. I can tell you that, Orion Gravenhold is the head of the family.
Orion?
He was a devout follower of Plomine back in the day.
Oh, a
That's a
change.
good name.
He gained some of her power, and then he broke his oath.
Oh.
Oh,
Who did?
I don't know too much.
I'm
Oh, what was that, Saska?
now considerably more interested in seeing him executed.
Well, either way, we'll be going after him regardless. Problem is, we don't know where he is. is.
He's probably... You remember that buildings that we went, the bars that we went to?
Yes.
I know that his base of operations resides underneath it. There's supposedly a network of tunnels and different ways to head about the night stocks underneath it.
And if we can find one of the entrances to this tunnel, we could get in.
I'm actually pretty good at exploring tunnels. A lot of practice. That seems pretty doable.
However, the other issue is, even if we take this guy out, there will become a power gap in this mafia. Any other criminal organization in the city.
I mean, I could probably tell you the top 4 people most likely to take over.
Asger's just gonna deadpan at him. Is your name on that list?
No, I'm a pirate. I go on boat. I leave places. I don't like to be tied down. So that's why I'm a pirate.
You already knew that, Asger.
I mean, this is the first time that he's admitted to being a pirate with commitment issues.
No, it's not actually. He has admitted he's been a pirate before. But the commitment issues is kind of obvious.
Anyway, it's called the Gravenholds for a reason. It is a family-run business. He works with his 2 daughters and his son. Son's Marcus, a brute of a man. You actually met his son-in-law when we were there discussing business. Mikhail Martel. Or Marel, sorry. Not Martel. He married Maya Gravenhold. Most of us require weapons to do our bidding and busy work.
She's a mage.
She is not. She still hits things. She just doesn't need a weapon.
Lovely.
And then the youngest daughter that works with him is Aurelie Gravenhold. I believe she just turned of age. I don't know too much about her. She's very... As far as I know, she joined the business because she had to join the business.
So that might be a loophole in that. However, if we really want to stop this overall business, as it's a family deal, sadly to say, we'll have to go after the entire family, like a certain someone wants to do with mine.
Hey. Evil families get what's coming to them.
Not all of them are willing to do what their family is doing.
I haven't killed you, and I let your sister go. We're doing pretty okay so far, I think.
Unwillingly.
I mean, semi-unwillingly. I also didn't see you come to my rescue against the fish monster. You had my back up until I decided to go into the water. Well, go into the water wasn't exactly the right word. If it wasn't for a certain feline over here, I'd probably be dead.
If it wasn't for a certain feline over here, Zastrava wouldn't have a hole right there. Do you see this? Asger!
I'm not saying that any of us are right in this situation.
Look at this! These are important insides.
Asger, Mila, I have a feeling that, like me, he ended up being... I don't know what that thing did to us. Possessed?
You mean the fuzzy head feeling?
Yes, and then towards the end, for some reason, I couldn't explain away. There was this strange feeling that I needed to regroup with everybody. And I think it was that creature's doing too.
Shirku, I treasure you deeply, but the way that it learned inside of your skull is because you have all this chaos and doubt inside of you that led you to having a weak mind armor, and so that it could convince you of thoughts that weren't yours. That
Convince
is
me of what?
not something you should aspire to. It's not something you should give into and
I got a
harm
question.
those around you.
Why would it convince me of something I'm already gonna get?
What do you mean it was already going to
Why
get?
not?
We were regrouping to fight it. Like I said, I thought you had my back.
As for the regrouping parts, I don't know. I tried to fight it, but it was difficult to fight.
Well, yeah, because
Only after Mila snapped me out of it was I able to come back. But by the time then, Zistrava already blew it up.
you say to find out what you actually are. And then you
Asger will hear the words blowing up and just go, and don't think I've forgotten about the little cave accident.
In all fairness, I did save your life.
Oof, this party's going to the crumbles.
I think we all should just move past this at this point, as that this continued argument isn't going to get us anywhere other than making that cat smile bigger.
He's enjoying watching
What?
struggle against one another.
He really is. Look at his smug fucking face.
What a great lesson to have learned, Princess. So, where do we go from here? How should we seek to take down at least 3 of the Gravenholds? Wait,
Well,
did you mention a wife?
Family murder time.
Well, first of all, if we're actually going to do this, there's too many in number. They have guards and target mafia. We would need to.
Shirku, I've seen how you fight. You fight like someone who also grew up inside of small condensed tunnels. I think between the two of us, we'd probably hold a pretty good stint on thinning out some numbers if we went through their little cave system, whatever tunnel system underneath.
I didn't grow up in any tunnels. I did fight in a tunnel at one point, at least in the illusion.
Zistrava asked about the wife. The wife was killed many years ago.
Oh,
But who?
interesting.
Rival gang, I believe. That's why it's ruled by the Gravenholds now.
Oh. Huh. Are there any remnants of rival gang?
Not that I've seen.
Gangs tend to be difficult.
Is that a fairly common thing that happens in the city?
What?
Gangs completely eliminating other families?
Bigger cities? Yes. Especially when one of the gangs is able to figure out a way to control the electoral system. And the god captain. And the gods. And then systematically eradicate all of his enemies.
That makes sense. I think we should systematically eradicate him now. Thankfully, we've already begun to slowly start turning the cards. We've got the lieutenant on our side, and then we could put the lieutenant, or our wonderful wizard, gesturing at the door, into a political position to continue to tear down his political power. I think that in removing a few members of that family of his, he should probably back off of his current interests, and then, and only then, I would maybe consider following Cypher's lead of going to go get more powerful. Leave them in fear, you know?
So we're gonna follow their own game that they play.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Like,
We're going to go get them from out of their rat holes and bring them to the light.
You see,
Charge them for the
Evelyn.
crimes they do.
Evelyn.
Nothing fights harder than a cornered rat.
Evelyn's just sipping on a glass of wine right now, and as you pointed, like, said her in political power, she just had that look of a deer in a headlights, like,
I mean, the captain of the guard hasn't been too bad so far.
He
You mean
hasn't.
the lieutenant?
Yeah, the lieutenant. My apologies.
I don't think we've seen Captain Siegfried Tholman anywhere.
Oh no. Which side does he play on?
The Gravenholds.
That complicates things.
Well, I mean, if we can get the guard to side with the lieutenant.
That's my hope. Once he gets here, I think we should discuss how much sway he actually holds within the guard to be able to enact change.
Mhm.
Isn't that a little bit slow, though, relative to our oncoming issue?
Yes, it is. There's multiple ways to deal with this issue, but I'd also not rather tip them off and fight the entire town.
I mean, again, I'm not planning on fighting the whole town. If they hired you to kidnap the mayor's daughter, I assume you have some sort of paperwork or contract you all could look back to prove that they hired you for such a thing?
You don't know how shady deals work, do you?
I mean,
No.
maybe if there was a way to like project somebody's like mental memories, we could.
Yeah. Aren't we out of, like, money influence anyway or whatnot? Since that was one of the points of our plans.
Hmm.
So, we are pretty shored up and routed here.
I mean, we did
Oh, a
just
good
know this.
question to ask. How long are we expecting this to take to turn this town away from the Gravenholds?
Could take
Longer
months.
than it would for them to expect us to have a package delivered.
Let me ask you something, Asger. Is one town worth letting all those evils run rampant on this world?
I mean, not particularly.
One town or the world? You're doing a lot to save this one town when we could leave and help a lot more people.
I
Well-
mean, you didn't even want to save this town, so I'm
I have a
feeling like
bigger
the win
picture
is still an
thinking,
Asger's
guys.
book moment.
You could technically do all three. You could cause discord from the outside and the guard side, and cause discord on the inside just from the information we've gathered. You just need to pull some strings.
So let's go with our wonderful feline. Who is the most second powerful criminal organization in this city at the moment?
At this moment.
What?
At this moment.
Yeah, at this moment.
I believe my ship was the only pirate ship in.
I wasn't
am.
saying pirate ship. I'm looking for a faction to split. If you take two evil factions and you get them to start fighting each other, that will at least clear up some time for us to go help protect the world for a little while.
I got a question. How many cannons does this city have?
Cannons?
I think as many are on a certain someone's boat.
You could technically just bombard the Ravenhold's estate.
That's not at all what I'm attempting to do, even a little bit.
If you
Like,
want to make it quick, that's the
I will
quickest
admit
way.
that I am dipping into gray areas of political espionage at the moment. But like, outright boat
If you want to
murder
make it quick,
is one thing
Just
that I really would prefer not to stoop down to.
If we don't want to stoop to other individuals, we did somehow spread the rumor of a prosperous time coming to the city. Perhaps we could encourage the townsfolk to have some sort of festival, and that would keep the guards busy, and then we would have more go at the Ravenholds or the Gravenholds.
I don't know how long it would take for us to set up a festival. We haven't planned a festival at all.
You're supposed to be good at party planning.
Yes, it takes months.
I'm surprised no one's considering a revolution.
There actually is a festival coming up.
Oh.
Oh, perfect.
Whitherthorn has. I don't know if you've noticed the different colors on the doors. There are ribbons coloring every door as you're going
Oh.
through. It's basically a festival of the dead from other places, where they honor those that have fallen. It's about 4 days out.
To give us
Well,
some
it
time to
seems like enough
plan.
time to at least start to map out some tunnels underneath this night dock section. Maybe stir up a little cross-gang conflict.
Yeah,
If the gang is distracted and the guards are distracted, then everyone's fairly distracted from the actual target.
even if they are, then there's still going to be a few guards.
I mean, a few is better than the city.
Yeah.
The Gravenholds on the day would be running short on guards anyway, just because it's the natural way of the city. Most people are out going through about festivities. It's a peaceful day.
Do people wear costumes?
Yes.
That makes travel easy.
Seems like
Especially
Halloween.
since we're going to be on Gravenhold's bad list.
Aboleth. Oh yes, so we didn't deliver the thing.
Oh, they did say not to come back if you don't find her.
It's true.
And look at that, we came back. We also sort of made ourselves rather visible walking through the front gate.
They
like-
said, they said not to come back to that tavern. They didn't say anything about coming back to the town.
It was very much the town, Shirku. I appreciate you, though.
Asger was gonna give like the, oh, cool, and then I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
No, it was definitely the town.
Oh, you
I
can
mean-
always twist words.
Humans are always bad with words, and they were definitely talking the town.
Yeah. Doesn't that make more sense? Oh, if we're doing this, we better get some rest and,
Snack.
I guess, scout.
Mila's crawling up.
Because how often does this? It's every year that you do this festival.
Correct.
So we only have one chance.
One opportunity.
Once in a lifetime.
Sorry, I saw the opportunity and I was like, I'm not letting it go.
We only have one chance to take the easy path.
Dare I say one moment?
To capture.
If we're gonna get copyrighted.
I was
Yup.
gonna say, no DMCAs, please.
Uh, so, so we're going to have. Are we going to discuss this with Lieutenant Arcane?
I think it's probably for the best. He seemed up for the plan before of removing the Gravenholds. I think he truly sees that this place is corrupted and would like it fixed.
However, what you said about them somehow gaining control of the guards has me worried and curious on how they did this.
I mean, like you and your weird connection to your murder family, you know, the people that you spend time with or care about, you have a connection to, and thus hold sway over.
You just watch as you're saying that, Hindeps pulls out some gold coins and just starts playing with them rather loudly.
And that works
Or
for
there's-
me.
Have funds.
You know, oh, it's a Strava. It's a Strava. Okay. So, yes, we failed the delivery mission. Is there? Because the way you say things is very good. Is there a way to make that a good thing? Maybe.
We did
they
save
asked.
her.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could try.
Or like, sleepy, but like, yeah, if you can think on like a way to make it a good thing, and then maybe it's okay if we stay in town. Whereas if we don't convince them of that, or like if you don't think you can, then we might need to go, or at least like find more open space so we have better fighting vantage.
I think I've got a little bit of luck on my side. We could see what we could try.
I am against revealing our presence in the town.
I will say, all of you made that deal, but I wasn't there. I was here, so I should at least sort of be free to walk around a bit, I would imagine.
Good, yes.
Unless one of the gods brings a statue with us.
What?
Unless one of the gods bring up that you entered with us.
I mean, that's fair.
And again, true. You are well known, considering you just keep throwing your title about.
Do I need to worry about them attacking my shop?
Possibly.
I highly doubt that they would risk it. I have to imagine the prowess of your abilities are at least somewhat known in this city.
The prowess of my abilities is I do some magic. I can make some things float and fly. I keep it very quiet about what I can actually do.
And you should help her keep it quiet, Asger.
Yes.
I mean, that makes sense. I was just gonna say that from personal experience, when the local guards find out that your eyes glow and you can do magic, they all get real scared.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because they have
And then-
never seen my eyes glow.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I feel like the magic half of that would still... Do they make eye contact with you? Do they walk in other directions when you come up the street?
The magic that they see is, and she just like has a book float up to her, and she grabs it. Minuscule.
I think that Hidden Depths ship is questionably more at risk here than your shop is.
That sounds fair.
I'm not gonna disagree. I also
is a
don't
bigger
care as
target.
much for Hidden Depths ship.
It is a bigger target. It's just floating there. I would be
Yeah,
surprised if
captive.
they actually tried and captured it.
I doubt that it'd be so easy for them.
Well, they could just shoot cannons at it until it sinks.
Shirku, I have a serious question for you.
What?
What is your fascination with cannons this evening?
I mean, they're there. They're easy to access. And they're there.
That makes sense.
I mean...
Evelyn, do you know of a way that the Night Ducks tunnel system might connect to this part of town? I'm pretty sure that their mansion and stuff is over here, so I would assume that they'd want connecting tunnels throughout the city to be able to conduct business.
The only thing I could think of is going through the sewers.
Asger just turns pale.
yeah. Sewers. That's nothing new.
What do you mean that's nothing new?
I didn't think they escaped from my city.
Your mother kicked you out of the house and gave you a scary weapon, and you ran through the woods impaling things with it
Not
until you grew up
not
and met
an
Mila?
illusion. We had escape routes that led into the sewers.
I mean, if that's what we have to do.
Oh, Asger, how can you call yourself a real adventurer if you haven't gotten a little dirty?
I mean,
Asger will like lift up like a piece of her like leather armor, and there's just like multiple dried blood stains in it, and she just goes, I have kind of an aversion to blood. That hasn't stopped any of you ever. I
Don't
feel
worry.
like I've gotten more dirty in the past month than I ever did my entire lifetime before. And I was an adventurer before I met you.
I mean, she is
Eating
right.
dirt is healthy for children.
Oh, don't worry,
It's
Asger.
character building.
It's not going to be blood we're going to run into at the sewers.
I mean, she is right though. I have dirtied her quite a bit. Have you seen how much blood sprays out of it? This saga?
This is also good character development for children, so really it's just a growing experience.
Where is this guy? Asger will just like, I'll put it like this.
I'll
am
put
a
it like
big
this,
fan.
you need nap. You are under-napped.
Well, speaking of, what's funny is that Asger doesn't like blood, but she always talks about executing people. And that involves taking off people's heads.
It
It
is
actually
the childish
doesn't
desire
involve
to
taking out
destroy
people's
all
heads?
things you
Yeah,
can
that's-
get
Do you
your claws
remember the
on.
single execution you've let me have?
That's
I
the traditional
melted-
way, yes.
Them down and stabbed them through the heart. It was pretty quick, and it wasn't very bloody. I gave them the death that they deserved.
Actually,
It was
stepping through the
as
heart is
close
still
to
blood.
painless as possible. And then I didn't eat their bodies afterwards.
I didn't have it.
Asger!
I haven't eaten a single body. What's wrong with you?
I feel like the question is, what's wrong with all of you?
Asger, you need to go and take a nap.
I don't want
Reflect upon your character growth.
But yes, traditional executions involve chopping off the head. That's Mr. Part here. He's probably seen a few.
Traditional executions in my line of work,
Involve hanging, right?
no, you push. They go off boat.
Ah, yes.
You leave them.
It's like my
to
laptop's
float.
dead. That doesn't sound painless or humane.
It does.
Welcome.
Wait,
It makes
what's
it so.
wrong with going off the boat?
If he
Gravenhold?
If you get pushed off boat and you can't sink, or if you do, then you float and then you die.
because shark or drowning.
But leaving them in
You
the
see
middle
that
of the
they're not
ocean,
females.
that leaves a lot of room for error.
Most pirates don't learn to swim. Much better to die fast than to sit out to the middle of the ocean for months.
Says the cat.
Starvation.
Better to act well and stay on the boat, but yes.
Exactly.
It is nappy time. It is nap time for all of the hooligans. Nap time
Nice.
character for Asger. Naughty timeout nap for Cypher. Precious baby nap time for Zastrava. Oh. And she just like goes to each and like naughty timeout nap time for Cat.
Asger will just be, so what's kind of our rough plan going into tomorrow? Just to like,
Stay
We have-
together.
okay,
Wake up
good.
and plan.
Stay alive, don't get possessed.
Wake
So-
up, plan, don't get possessed. I like where all of these plans are going. I think that they need a
Communicate
little
with
bit more
those who've
brain
been
cells.
nice to us. And I
There's
think that's
one-
enough. That's exhausting enough for one day. We take a nap after that.
And murder people.
No!
Asger, no.
I mean, we've been doing that this entire time.
We are in a human nest. You do not stir the nest while you're in the middle of it.
Well, aren't we going to be doing that anyway?
Very good advice,
By
actually.
Ravenholds?
Of course, it's good advice.
I mean, it's not what we're doing, I'll admit. But also,
Asger, don't go to naughty time nap. Go nap.
Asger's gonna sneak up to the library first to go find a book, and then she's gonna go bring it to a certain cat, and then she's going to bed.
That's the book.
What's the book
She's
and
like-
what's the cat?
Well, there's one cat, and Asger's just gonna be like, so I don't read many things about pirates, but I did read this one a long time ago. And maybe I misjudged you, and maybe you're more like this pirate in this book. She'll pass it over to him and goes, I'm going to bed now.
Good night, Asger.
I'm gonna go punch something in the training room. I hope this place does have one.
What's the book? Is it basically a
A romance
just-
novel.
It's a pirate romance with
Wait,
like
who's reading
Oh
this?
no. Well, not
I imagine Asger found like like it's a not
Fabio, but on boats.
yes and?
God, what is the name of the book? Why can't I think of it? It's a movie. I'm an idiot.
Ooh.
Pirates of the Caribbean? Treasure
No.
Island?
No.
Oh
Lost
no,
at
there's
Sea?
far more romantic than that.
the
I
God.
got eaten by a whale.
why can't I think of it?
Well, Asger
He'll come
thinks
back later.
Mila
It
is
sure will.
Mila is tucking the rest of the party into burritos, like very gently, with Strava.
You did burrito.
Oh
Shirka's
yes.
gonna just try and find a training room to punch some training dummies. Because I don't think he can sustain
Let's-
more.
Hisses at Shirku.
That's it, Mila.
It's nap time. Bedtime for the little one.
Mila's putting you all to bed.
Yeah.
Alright, if I'm going to bed, so are you. I'll get in those rolls.
You all take a second long rest after a very short time.
I mean, we got beat up pretty badly.
We're very hurt.
Yeah, I'll give it to you all. You get a long rest. I was like, do I push the rules or nah? You guys,
Plus, how long was the walk back?
30 minutes?
Only half an hour.
Yeah.
So it's been like 3 hours maybe.
Yeah. That's why I'm
So
like,
the-
but
the
you
only
guys
one-
can get it.
That wasn't limping back with Cypher.
Huh?
Upon waking up, you guys don't hear anything from, you don't see Evelyn or anything like that, but you do see the invisible servants all coming to your little burritos with breakfast in bed, basically, for you all.
And hopefully not an Asger speeching at us.
That's for in a little bit, most likely.
What?
Mila's
As
going
they
to
say
be
that,
feeding
her eyes just flip
Strava, I'm
open.
sure, to some complaints.
What?
Mila's going to be feeding Strava. She'll sort of prop up your burrito against the wall and be like trying to feed you.
I think Mila likes you. I say to
Yeah.
Strava.
It's because she saw Zastrava almost die.
Have to
Why
take
don't we
care
do
of
that to
the
Asger?
injured ones.
Why don't we do that to Asger? She almost died.
No.
Yeah, but that's a regular thing.
True.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm the one who always feeds her there, so.
You see, Shirku, when you're raising children, you
Hey,
do
does that
have
have a child?
to let them out and about into the world. But and you have to let them make their own mistakes, and even if it's going to hurt you, you have to let them suffer the consequences of their own mistakes. On the other hand, if the fates, the worlds, and such are conspiring against your child, that's when you step in and save them.
So Strava's a child, and so is Asger.
All you are Babbins.
It's the princess.
You at least have more sensibility of them, but you're all so sweet.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The book was The Princess Bride, but more
Oh.
pirate.
Ah.
I
Princess
kept
Bride,
thinking
but
Princess
fanfic.
Diary, and I was like, it's not The Princess Diary, Annabelle. That's not it. I was like,
Be funnier.
It would've been
Anyways,
fun.
yeah, I'm gonna eat and then I guess do a morning training routine. This time, imagine on that routine to try and get more echoes because apparently I'm losing my touch. Or at least Shirku's seeing it that way.
Hidden Depths, after everyone's done with lunch or breakfast, it's basically lunch, breakfast, brunch, comes and drops off the book. No. And then walks.
I agree with that statement. No, I can't even read, but I can guess what it is.
And then
Mila doesn't know how to read and is thankfully not perturbed.
he walks out of the magic mansion to go talk with Evelyn.
Evelyn, do you happen to have any brain bleach, as the kids call it?
It's a
Everyone
stuff-
was like, I thought he was gonna like it, honestly. Like, it's a really good story.
It's Strava. I think I know how you can torture him next time you meet him. Give him that
Yes. I am sure there are songs written about that book.
Oh no. Write a heroic song about him.
Yes, everyone knows how terribly things go once they have a song written about them.
And at the end, have it so he's giving away all his money. It's charity.
Hidden Depths is not around to see that or hear that.
So we should kind of come up with a plan of what we plan to do. And Asger will look directly at Cypher, and the plan cannot be leave town.
Well, I'm all out of ideas.
I don't normally deal with towns. I'm more of a deal with the woods and demons kind of guy. Unless there's demons involved, I don't really have any ideas. Aside from what I suggested last.
Asger's just gonna look at you and just be like, isn't it kind of nice to not worry about demons coming and fighting you in your sleep, though?
It's strange.
But a good strange?
It feels strange to me.
That didn't answer the question. You just repeated what you said the first time.
Exactly.
I think our first objective should be to outline the different factions we need to account for. And then we can kind of strategize over the next couple days what we need to do and achieve with each of them.
This is step by step. It's likely gonna take weeks, if not a month. Just a warning.
But we only have 4 days for the festival.
Well, we better work fast then.
So we have the guard. We need to check with the lieutenant to see if he can make sure that the most loyal guards are stationed at the festival away from the Gravenholds. If possible.
It'd be nice to get a map of the sewers and the underground tunnel we keep hearing about.
I
Uh,
don't think anyone's gonna have that.
there's gotta be a city planner.
Hmm.
This doesn't seem like something the Gravenholds would just, like, leave up to be planned out like that. I imagine this is an inside endeavor for them. I mean, we're welcome to try. Like, I'm not against it, but
Yeah. Well, we can ask about maybe I mean, is this the city library?
I guess.
Sometimes libraries have historical documents.
This might be
About the
as
city
close as
founding.
you get to a city library in this zone.
Alright, so we want to try and find a map of the sewers or some sort of partial. Or we could even scout the sewer grates and see where those are and kind of get a tentative layout. Maybe Mila could fly over the city and make a map in her head. In a small creature.
We could also interrogate someone.
If I had some gold, I could make another owl and be able to scout the city a bit that way as well.
I bet I know somebody who could help you.
Probably for a price.
Asger will look at her pocket and go, I don't have much for that price.
How much gold are we talking about?
I need about 10 gold's worth of materials. I have about 4 gold's worth of materials. Nothing we have ever done has actually led to payment.
We are not successful adventurers.
You said 10 gold's worth, right? And you have 4 gold?
Yeah,
I toss her 6.
Asger will catch it.
I don't use money very often, so have at it.
Asger will just, I appreciate that. I'll go get working on passing this over to
And make
Glad
sure
no one
there's-
thought to ask the guy who looted the tower.
The what?
Nothing.
Oh.
Yes, we know you get money.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's been about 20-30 minutes, and you watch as the door opens. As the door opens, Zestrava, Shirku, Asger, Mila, you freeze doing what you're doing. No longer able to move, no longer able to hear, no longer able to tell that time is passing. Cypher.
Oh.
One sec.
I don't want no consequence. I don't want these consequences chasing me.
That is
Sorry.
Quite good.
You watch as walking around a gentleman in armor. I don't think you've actually met Lieutenant Arcanwold. Lieutenant Arcanwold is a guard captain or lieutenant is standing in the door and had just opened through and was walking through with Evelyn, and they're both just frozen. And you watch as the man known as Master Mir walks in
Ah,
and sits across from you.
I was expecting you to show up.
You've betrayed me a little bit.
Actually, your minion was a little braggy about himself. I did quite a bit to save his life, but he had to show his location when I don't think it was prudent. But I did keep a little piece of him. I'll reach in my little bag and pull out the little piece of him.
Interesting.
Also, kudos at freezing Asger. I mean, that would definitely point to the fire probably dying quite well.
I have powers over time and the perception of it. Speaking of time, if you're still in this city within 4 days from now, you have failed your end of the bargain.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, I've got them pretty close to leaving, but that's good to know what I'm working with now.
The Dovards are on their way.
Oh, okay.
With a
Well-
horde to eradicate this city.
Hmm.
If you're in here within 4 days from now, you have failed your part of the bargain.
Well, I will get them to leave. I don't want to be on this continent any longer myself. Maybe I can give you a peace offering, and I'll pull out the ring of the Darvad. Tell your little friend not to leave his trinkets laying around.
He grabs it, looks at it. You watch as, like, purple lightning just starts going through the entire thing of it. And then you see it's gone and no longer in his hand. And then you feel a zap on your finger.
Oh. That's
4 days from now.
All right. We'll be gone in hopefully 3.
I will leave you as I found you.
That's not a great state to be in. Alrighty.
And with that, everyone kind of goes back to normal.
I love you could see Asger just like, I'm gonna kill him. Horribly.
Oh, but Asger, you don't know any of this yet.
I am fully aware of the fact that I don't know. I've tried to make it blatantly obvious without being whatever. I was like, I don't know why some people really like the guy who doesn't like civilization or people or life. And that's the guy who you wanted to put some eggs in baskets with.
I'm surprised no one's taking perception checks to notice.
Oh.
Hey, no?
Oh, you mean the ring?
Yeah, the ring. The ring that wasn't there before.
I mean, no one had... Cypher wasn't really the center of conversation.
Yeah, true enough.
You know, it crosses my mind that dealing with the Gravenholds during a festival will put a lot of people at risk. We could cause a lot of death.
That could be a problem, and as Arcane walks in.
I don't think that... No?
Oh, hello.
It's quite literally the opposite.
I don't know, Asger. You corner a rat and they get a lot more dangerous. I say we have to deal with them sooner, before the festival.
Weren't you agreeing to our plan earlier?
You seem to have had a quick change of heart here.
Yeah,
Gravenhold.
that's what I do. I think about things. And the more I thought about the plan, the more I realized people could die.
That was a fast thinking process.
Naps are important for thinking.
It's true.
So what
Now that
is...
Arcane
What was that, Asger?
I said, now that Arcane here, I have an idea just to make sure that all of us are, honest about all of our plans. And that this man isn't a spy who has gained our trust. Because I have thought about it, and I have read enough spy novels that he may have been replaced in the past couple of days that we've been gone. Badoop.
Is that a zone of truth?
I finally have a second level spell slot to cast this fucking spell!
So...
What are you doing, Asger?
As you start
Mila is
chanting,
agitated.
because it is a verbal and somatic spell.
Mila is agitated.
Who are you selecting as
It's
It's
an
a
area.
15-foot radius cube.
Is it just
It's
everyone?
everybody in the cube.
It's a sphere. Okay.
It's a 15-foot radius sphere. It's everybody in the sphere.
Which is
no.
probably just about everyone.
Oh no,
Um,
Cypher.
That was the plan.
They can choose to fail, but as that you told no one what it is, I
I
believe...
said I was making sure that we were having honest conversation and that man isn't a spy. And then I cast the spell.
It's true.
I also know if they fail or succeed.
Can I get
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Mila.
I guess the saving roll would come first, but you have agitated Mila and she is into her aggression colors.
You all right, Mila?
We'll save.
Arcane definitely fails. And can everyone else give me a
Mila
will save?
passes, you scrub.
And yeah, everyone is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions.
I fail.
Wait, what type of save?
Wisdom.
Thank you. I heard will, and I'm like, I don't have will.
Oh, sorry.
Cypher has failed.
It's from
Um,
3.5.
I will spend a fate point to bring it up to a 14.
Cypher has succeeded.
For this
So-
6 seconds.
No, it's for while they're in there.
Casting time 1 action, duration 10 minutes, so they make a save every 6 seconds that they are inside the fucking thing.
Nope.
No,
If
think
they
it's a
leave and
repeated
then
save.
enter, then they would have to make another save. It's only one save. Unless he leaves and
Or
then
starts its turn
re-enters.
there.
Really?
Yep.
Oh
it's
yeah,
in the
or
spell.
starts its turn.
There's a reason I really like
Oh.
this spell.
or do we roll
Oh,
initiative
wait.
or?
Is it charisma saving throw?
Oh, it is
Oh,
a
is it
charisma
charisma?
saving throw.
Oh,
I'm so
Oh.
sorry. I
I-
came from 3.5.
I
I,
also-
So I
thought it
know
was a
zone
whiz
of
save.
truth for 3.5.
do I re-roll that then?
Yeah. Yeah. Unless your charisma save. is the
actually,
same
your
bonus.
charisma, when you're you would still fail Shirku, I believe. Your charisma is not high enough.
It's a -1.
I would actually succeed without spending my fate point.
Nice. As
See,
like you guys can just keep the rolls, just
I'm sorry.
swap.
I'm on the wrong D&D system.
Asger got the main person that she was interested in with it, so Asger will just, after casting the spell, go,
Would
none
we
of you
roll
are
for
able to
initiative?
lie now. Except for, and she'll point out the couple of people. She'll just look at Arcane and go, are you actually a good guy?
Before you get to that, do you want us to roll initiative? Because Mila's fighting.
Are you all right, Mila?
She's using deceitful fey magic. Rotten to the core. And Mila's going to cast Dispel Magic to just claws at the air and rips this field apart.
Aren't you also using magic doing that?
You see, the shifters view their magic as different. But yes, it is.
So the spell magic was cast. I don't think anything can stop that right now that you guys have. As far as I know, I mean, as far as I consider myself, I try my best to be able to help people.
Is that still under the
Does this
effect
Robin
of
want to try
Zone of Truth or
Counterspell
no?
now?
You don't know?
I could.
Because that magic started disappearing as it did.
Well, that depends on if Sistrava does Counterspell or if
It's true.
Dispel Magic goes.
I could try.
No, counterspell would counterspell dispel magic.
It's
We'll try.
confusing.
So Strava is interested in seeing what's going to play out.
So is the Strava cast counterspell?
Sure.
Okay, so Mila, your dispel magic is countered.
Okay. And then
Annabelle
what-
as Asger,
well,
yes, that means
bonus,
that what he said was under Zone of Truth and was truthful.
And
Yeah.
I can't stand being in this rotten magic, and Mila will shift into. Is there room to be large in here?
Yes?
Yeah. She's going to shift into an allosaur. Very agitated. With both of you and being in here.
Mila? And Evelyn's in looking. Settle down inside my mansion.
Mila, please calm down.
Asker's like, it's just to make sure that everyone's honest. I don't want this plan to go awry before it even starts.
And Asger, remove the spell, please.
Mila will
Did Shirku
go
fail?
still with
Yes.
Asker's gonna look at Shirku and just go, "What do you think of me?"
Mila's going to go still with that.
He gives a sigh. That sometimes you're irresponsible, headstrong.
You gotta
like
go deeper than
you
that.
are inexperienced, brag about your title,
Good.
and have to be saved quite often.
Yep, the magic's definitely working on him.
Let it flow through you.
Unless it's the other side of you that's controlling you right now.
No, this is my own magical abilities. I don't use it very often because I usually
I don't
channel
mean
it
right
more.
now.
What?
I don't mean right now.
Did a certain pussycat fail the save at all? I can't
Oh.
imagine that it did.
Uh-oh.
1 second. Sorry, I knew there was a reason I had this ready to be opened. Does a 23 succeed?
It sure does.
He succeeded.
You cannot charm the cat boy.
Not this 6 seconds.
Now, what is your plan so far for this? And at that, if everyone that has failed wants to give me another charisma
Once
saving
you
throw.
fail, you failed.
I know. Everyone who has not failed wants to give me another con save.
No, not failed. Okay. Ignore
Mila
mine.
leaves a low careening warble.
Aw.
So Cypher and Mila fall under the effects.
Asker's just going to be like,
And
we
Dux
have a
is still
few
fine.
mindsets of the plan thus far. Cypher would like to leave.
Yeah.
Shirku is interested in going to find his father.
However, we can wait for him to arrive, but my
more-
idea was to figure out a way into these tunnels that they might have scattered around that I've been hearing about. Through the sewers or otherwise, somewhere in the Midnight Docks, and get over into their mansion from that way,
Their mansion.
or whatever household they have.
They more of have, as far as I'm aware, the Gravenholds are underneath the bar. Like their estate is underneath of it.
Yeah, that explains the underground tunnels. But yes, seeing as this mafia is a giant's entire family, why don't we just, even if we take out one, another could replace the head.
The idea is to hopefully root out corruption and get rid of the crime element in this city altogether. At least that is my intention.
As is mine.
Well, this is my only idea with the Ravenhold. As for any other crime, I'm not too sure.
For
And
the most part,
remove-
Whitherthorn doesn't have a lot of crime that occurs. It's mainly all held to the Night Docks and under the Gravenholds. He likes to keep the other side clean.
Alright, and since that's the case, we only need to focus on the Gravenholds. From what I've been told, there's one person, the youngest daughter, who's been unwillingly put into joining the family after she came of age.
I don't know much about any of I don't know much about Aurelie Gravenhold. I know a bit about the other two, but nothing much about her. She's not caught our radar as much.
Our current working plan is that we would go and hopefully scope out some of the tunnels so that we had a bit of a plan of how to maneuver down there. and using the distraction of the festival, hopefully with your assistance, being able to move the guards who are going to be less corrupt and in the way of this removal to the other side of the city. And in the, relatively spread thin time frame of the festival, we would have access to be able to root them out. It's a few days away, so we do have a few days to prepare. And Asger will look at everyone else and everyone else's plans.
I say we leave.
And even if we leave, what then?
We get stronger, and then we come back.
Then, by the time
In
we
the
get
grand
back,
scheme, Asger, what is your plans after you get rid of the Gravenholds?
There won't be corruption in this city, and then I'll go help Shirku, who I don't particularly like, but
So you plan to leave the city without a government?
they have a government. It's not, the Gravenholds aren't the government. The Gravenholds have the government in their pocket, though. So I'd be pulling the government out of that pocket to
You have
then
to
let
get rid of
them.
the government if you get rid of the Gravenholds, though. They're already corrupted. Who's to say they couldn't be re-corrupted, bought again? Removing one family doesn't solve this issue.
I mean, I think it solves a large chunk of this issue and buys us time so that we could maybe consider doing your plan of leaving. Why are you so focused on leaving, by the way? For the past
Because I
couple of days,
finally
you've been
have
so-
the key to my master's tower.
well, you have it right now, so there's no rush.
Hidden
There's
Depths has
always a rush.
failed his charisma save.
Huh?
Asker's gonna look at Hidden Depths and just go, "What do you think of me?"
Oh my god.
Money.
Uh-oh.
Money?
Out. Let it out.
I think that you're brave. Foolishly so on some things.
I can agree with that.
You're inexperienced and naive of the world. But
Asger will not
growing.
fall.
I think you would make a great crewmate.
Asger will look at him and just go, "If you had the opportunity to sell me for gold, would you do it?"
Just picture
How
her
much
as,
gold?
Just picture her as a walking bag of money.
How much gold?
Asger will, I don't know. A lot, I guess.
How much do you think you are worth, Asger?
Who am I selling you to?
There are a lot of follow-up questions to this that I wasn't expecting.
You're the one who asked him about money.
There are a lot of questions. If I'm selling you to someone who's going to keep you safe, yes. If I'm selling you someone who's going to cut you up, dissect you, and throw you away, how much gold? Like, if we're talking platinums upon platinum that my crew can live a joyous, happy life, yes, and then I will get you out of there and then go through and go about life.
Asger will shrug at this and go, "You know, that was about as good an answer as I guess I could have expected. I will accept that. Your level of trust has grown slightly."
Depends how desperate the enemies are for getting a hold of Asger, I guess.
Hey, Asger, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you making your charisma saving throws?
Oh, I failed it. I just
Okay.
gave in the first time.
Oh,
If anyone
I'm-
has a question for Asger, they can go for it.
I just wanted to know.
Asger
Just
did
gets
the
a
spell
little, like,
with
whine
every
like a
intention of,
dog.
this is going to be a honest conversation about this fucking plan. Mostly because she was like, that one could be a spy. Also, Asger was really curious if a certain cat was going to sell her if she ever got on the boat. Which, like, is now slightly confirmed, but not as bad as she was expecting it to have been confirmed.
Hmm.
Money. Money is.
Money makes the world go round.
Since that's the case, I'm actually curious. Asger, what would you do if you had to fight alongside the thing you hate most?
Which
That
thing I hate most?
That situation ever arose.
I hate a lot of things quite a bit. So which one in particular?
The most.
The most would probably be the Mirror Man, in which case I wouldn't fight alongside him. It's pushing it with me fighting alongside with you.
Good to know.
You seem to be slowly making your way away from the corruption, so I hope to see continued growth and improvement. But I'm still extraordinarily wary of you.
I was corrupted. Shirku raises an eyebrow at us.
Your magic that you do is Mirror Man magic. Your family
That's
told
not
us.
magic.
Your otherworldly powers?
That works. Close enough.
I'm gonna call it magic.
Whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, my power is my own. No one else's. And I can develop it however I wish.
Interesting. Now, can we get back to dealing with the Gravenholds?
Yes.
That seems
Sorry
a
about
better plan.
So your plan is to attack on the Day of the Dead.
Yes.
Yes.
And you want me to situate the 20 or so guards that are not completely under his pocket around the
Safe
night.
away. No, we would like them away so that they aren't in harm's way at all. We would prefer that as many people aren't harmed in this action as possible.
But if possible and we need help, perhaps the most loyal to you could be situated there.
A small contingent would be helpful, but again, I would feel bad putting them in harm's way. They didn't sign up for that job.
It's either this or playing the long con and trying to cause disruption within them, within the Gravenholds.
So, I believe I should tell you that I'm actually here for a couple of reasons. The first is to talk about our plans with dealing with the Gravenholds. The second, and he pulls out a bag of gold, and he drops it like in the center for you guys. This is a reward from Artemis Therion, the mayor, for returning his daughter to him. I brought
Asger's going to pick it up before a
No.
certain someone else can get it and start passing it out.
You weren't even part of the heist!
He was very grateful when I told him about the band of adventurers who made sure to save her from the, well, machinations of a different and far, something we can't even really think of.
As far as I can tell, my weapon doesn't harm aberrations very well, and that thing was an aberration when I hit it.
I got the understanding from Evelyn of a little bit of what it was, and I don't think it's meant for my ears to ever have to deal with again.
You just need to know the name, not what they are. And that's about it.
Information is power.
I hinted at the fact that it was possible that the reason she was in such danger was the Gravenholds to him. He wants them removed. We weren't able to really fully discuss it. He doesn't like being under their thumb.
Well, we'd be more than happy to assist with that. Is there any sort of aid that he can lend us?
The full backing once they're gone?
The That's good.
anything that you guys deem needed to go through and do, as long as it doesn't cause harm to the good citizens of Whitherthorn. You can back that.
Yes.
We might be able to get the map we were talking about earlier from the mayor then.
Yeah,
A
see if we
map?
can get a map of the sewers.
Or connected tunnel system at all.
Right. Speaking of, that
We don't
reminded me.
have any of that. That would be under the Gravenhold's complete control.
Yeah. Oh, that
Asger did this. I was right.
Yeah, it looks like you were. Speaking of, that reminds me, after all this is done, Asger, you mentioned that they only had a few experienced guards to defend this city, right?
Against the monstrosity that we fought, yeah, they wouldn't have been able to stand up very well. I basically recommended that they pull the people from inside the city for their protection, because Cypher wanted to leave, and I didn't think I was going to win that argument with leaving, as that everyone else seems to want to abandon things when it gets a little tough after we unleash ungodly amounts of evil onto the world.
Don't forget your lesson last night to leave the past in the past.
All right. Well, anyways, I was going to suggest that afterwards, why not start a training program? Because the demons and other creatures, I don't know where, are starting to become more rampant. And I'm worried that they might get a reach down here.
It would be a difficult thing to do, considering that of the 4,000 or so people of Whitherthorn, only 100 are actually in the god.
Even still, 100 trained soldiers is better than 0 trained soldiers, and Shirku's really good at fighting demons.
But who would train them?
Shirku.
So it would stay here to train them.
I don't mind training one person that could be a drill sergeant for the future, but beyond that, I don't think I want to stay here.
I mean,
I prefer traveling.
it sounded like your sister was pretty good at fighting as well. I mean, I know if we head back to our native realm after this, we could always collect her and see if she could be sent back to help train.
Yeah,
It might give a place for the villagers to go.
yeah, yes. However, but my sister, her fighting style is completely different. That's to the point where I don't think anyone here could keep up.
Hmm.
Not with
That's
the
fair.
abilities that they have. Even I can't do what she does.
I'm sure even she started somewhere.
Sure. Well, now that that's out of the way, apologies.
So you want to wait 4 days, so that way their forces are lowered, so that way it's easier to attack.
We had some other planning we were going to probably do in the meantime, but yeah, basically,
We need to scout the system, figure out where the Gravenholds will be that day, how to infiltrate that area.
My assumption is they'd probably be honoring the dead of theirs.
Do they have a crypt?
Not that I'm aware of.
Hmm.
could be something we could go look for down there.
Yeah, where would they go to honor their dead?
Well, if they do have a crypt, it's likely somewhere within their base and hidden away.
That's fair.
I will get to seeing about what I can do for keeping the guard stationed around, changing the guard stations that day. Is there any other questions that you had for me before I left for that?
I don't think so.
I have less of a question and more a suggestion.
Yes.
I'm someone that's more of cautious to the point of I like to make sure that I always know how to escape in case something goes wrong. In case something does go wrong, they might link it back to either you or the mayor and try and take revenge in some way. It might be a good idea to prepare a way out in case, well, we don't exactly succeed or something goes wrong.
Thank you for going through and bringing this up. I'll see what I need to do.
We
This
could.
might also include the other guards that was mentioned. Per.
and not just a way out, but perhaps a better way in if there could be a distraction at the festival or something that would further draw the guards away.
Also, at this point, you all feel that the magic compelling you to tell the truth, for those of you besides the Strava, it fades away.
Yeah, what was that compulsion that I had? I felt like telling the truth and nothing but the truth. Oh well, doesn't make any difference.
Asger just like waves at you. I was just making sure that we were all being honest with our plans. I think we've all grown closer from this, except for Mila. I think Mila hates me more.
I reach over and pat Mila on the shoulder. It's alright, Mila. You'll get used to the magic eventually.
In-Depths is just over there, like,
Magic happens. Cypher uses magic, Strava uses magic, but that magic that Asker's delving into, some of what Fae would use to trick each other, compel each other, commit other crimes against their identities.
At least it's not demonic
She
magic.
like womps the tail of it.
Asger will just look at you.
And
I
Mila
use
has
holy
much
magic.
bigger eyes to look at you.
No, it was just Shirku who was like, at least it's not demonic magic. And Asger's just, I use divine magics, and they're nothing Fae, Mila.
No, that is Fae. That warps your mind and warps your words.
What are you talking about? I've seen demons use divine magic before, if that's what divine
Yes.
is.
And what you did was not any better than what the Aboleth was doing when it rotted into your minds. She'll hiss at you and stomp out.
That magic gives you a choice, though. You don't have to answer
It's
the
always
question.
a choice. That's the point. That's what makes it evil. Whoa.
So having a choice is evil? Now
After
you're just
getting
getting
called
confused.
evil is quite humorous, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Since we have a
Arcane
Because
gonna
there's
get
the
up
whole
and
like
I'll be back.
there's a whole historical thing on,
Yeah,
like why the,
yeah,
the
it might
island
be a
is
good
the way it
idea.
is right now.
Have a good one.
and he walks away. And getting them out of that conversation.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
so if magic that gives a choice is evil, does that mean since we're doing this by choice, we're evil?
I think you misunderstood what she meant by choice, Shirku.
Yes, he did. And I don't even. I'm misunderstanding.
And more than that, like it's always a choice in whether or not you compel others to your bidding.
Oh, that. I think Asger means the choice to if you.
Asker's, you shouldn't trust her opinion if she's dabbling into this nonsense, Shirku.
I never trust her opinion sometimes. Sorry to say, Asger, but sometimes running in headstrong without
It's the
an
best
idea
way.
of what to do is suicidal. At least stay with the group instead of running into it.
No, that's just a part of growing up.
Now, before Mr. Arkenholtz fully arrived, Cypher was saying something about not waiting until the Day of the Dead.
What?
Yes.
Did we want to get back to that conversation at all?
We're doing it earlier, but that'll make things much more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question for you, Shirky. You said your father's coming here. When, and how do you know?
When, I don't know. How do I know is a certain little girl told me.
Any guess on the time frame?
I know we were in the forest when that happened. I don't. That's sometime before we went into that cave. I know that.
You talking about when Gwen came to see us?
No, when is his father arriving is what I'm curious about.
Oh,
As for my father, I have no idea. I was just told that he's heading south this direction.
And all of this matters, and the humanness is going to put a damper on our ability to search for him.
I don't know which direction or area he is exactly, but this is the farthest south city that there is.
No, we're half. We're midpoint. No? Maybe I'm off.
Closer to mid. Lower third, 3/4. There's plenty of farther things south.
Okay, this is the closest thing. Ah,
Depends on how fast you think he's going.
I don't know whether he's traveling on foot or traveling by demon. I don't know.
What?
I think just more of just like Bryn's face and like considering like demon transport.
Yes.
Don't give him ideas.
You know, something about like moving like a hellbat out for speed, you know, something like this.
Mhm. If he ever,
It would take about to travel from Pyrehelm to Whitherthorn. And this is a
Didn't we travel from Pyrehelm to Whitherthorn?
Exactly. This is what I was about to say. You would know that it took about 90 to 100 days.
I know that. I just know that Evelyn told him to head this way. If I got her name right. No? No? Did I get it right?
Evelyn
Was-
is the lady that you guys
Evelyn's
are in
the
the shop.
bookkeeper.
Yep.
Damn it. I'm forgetting names. I am
Ellen.
so bad with names. Ellen. Thank you. I just know that Ellen told him to head this way, and she informed me of that. Speaking of, I haven't seen the Mirrored Man in a while. That makes me curious what he's up to.
hopefully with the bit of damage that we've done to his forces, he'll be recuperating and staying away. Destroying that
think
monstrosity
so.
of his should hopefully allow the flame to get stronger again.
I don't even know why he was trying to make a deal with me.
Excuse me?
I told you before that he tried to make a deal with me, didn't I?
No.
Yes,
I
yes,
feel like
did.
I feel like I would have had a bit more of a scolding for you had you mentioned that you had a potential dealing with the Mirror Man.
I told him I'm not interested in deals.
Good.
I told you this before we got to Whitherthorn while we were heading south. After we found the cave. The cave with a certain dragon in it.
Well, that had a certain dragon in it.
I was going to say, my memory might be a little bogged up as that most of my notes from that area was the weird cave and then dragon.
Okay. But
Making
if
deals with that man is the worst idea you could possibly have.
I
You
have no interest in deals, no matter where it comes
Your
from.
face.
Deals always go poorly. I know
Yeah.
the dragon tried to make a deal with me.
He's kind of in the same vein as the Mirror Man. They
I'd
used
say
to
worse.
sort of work together, or at least that's what I learned.
That's any worse. Anyways, you mentioned we had to do this within the 4-day mark, specifically in 3 days.
Cypher, I believe that was directed to you.
Oh. Well, yeah, 'cause we do it during the festival, well, we could accidentally kill a lot of innocent people.
Then we'd lose a lot of favor.
I'm confused as to why you think we'd lose a lot of innocent people.
In case any of those family members are. Oh,
I was gonna point out, and he points to Sistrava, if she makes things go boom, that could make you,
We're gonna be far away. We're gonna be at the Gravenhold estate.
which is
Also-
underneath.
Exactly. In the tunnels, not on the street. We're not running through the street blowing people up.
And
I guess-
isn't that underneath the tavern? That's in the midnight docks.
Well, where is the festival being held? Which part of Whitherthorn?
The whole city.
Well, at least it would only be the people in the night docks.
Again, I don't think that if we run into anyone down in the tunnel system, that they aren't going to be Gravenhold related and thusly also a part of the crime thing that is happening. Like,
Fair, as
if
long
we
as we
just
don't-
get rid of just the Gravenholds, then all of their minions are still kind of out. I feel like we should probably kind of attempt to collect most of them.
So you're wanting to execute all of them.
But if something
I
goes
mean,
boom, if you have something go boom under, like in the structure underneath, and there's a lot of people above, then collapse. Kind of like how the
I
cave
will-
went boom.
Huh, funny how you know about that. So intimately.
Cave went boom.
Okay, I will just not explode things in the tunnels.
I was gonna say Shirku and Mila are both just as strong with physical weapons that would avoid collateral damage such as that.
I don't know about that. I could probably make walls cave in.
And I mean,
He points
do-
to the giant dinosaur that was just here.
She has smaller dinosaurs as well. And Shirku, I will charge you with murder for every innocent person that you kill if you intentionally destroy walls to cave things in.
Too late for that.
Excuse me?
Never mind.
I mean, and as long as we do, just incapacitate the people we find on the way, make sure they don't drown in the sewage, we can just kill the 3 that we need to kill. Or, take prisoner or whatever to hand them over to the mayor.
Someone finally agrees with my battle tactics.
For once. But, I mean, I guess we have a choice to make. Do we want to try and execute this during the festival when... either way, if we collapse something, we're going to be collapsing somebody's house above it. Or do we try to do a stealth mission and sneak in at night and try to take them out?
Preferably, we close that one shady tavern to collapse in.
What
If
did
we
the
do collapse
tavern
something.
do to you?
What?
What did the tavern do to you?
Glare at me.
Yes, it
Every
was a
single
mimic.
person.
Oh, not the tavern people in it.
Hmm. The tavern itself didn't do anything.
Also, I should ask, Will I be going on this mission too?
Yes.
Okay.
We need you safe, so that way we have your ship safe.
Wait, he's gonna be safe while he's down there with us?
I mean, it's
Has
him
he
and
yet to
Cypher
get a
are-
scratch?
I was going to say, him and Cypher are currently racing to see who can take the least damage in combat.
I took that psychic blast twice.
Yeah, it sounds like Cypher's winning.
Sounds like
I will
complete.
gladly win this race.
He is.
I don't know.
He is
Cypher,
fast on his feet.
Cypher, I don't know. I saw Cypher got injured a little bit from that cave in.
I didn't see much of the cave-in, as that I was focused on protecting Cypher from the monstrosities in the cave, as they bolted past me, and the cave fell on top of me.
There was monstrosities in there?
Yes, we saw them the night before, like the whatever monster was still deeper in there. I didn't just run into a cave for shits and giggles.
I
was
see
literally
them,
going in
but-
to protect Cypher.
I didn't see them, but I saw Cypher, you, and Mila rush in there.
Well, Cypher rushed in, and so I was rushing in to protect them, and then it exploded. As Cypher ran away.
Such a good.
I mean, this isn't the first time.
I am squishy.
Well, we seem divided. Are we going to do a festival mission or a stealth
say-
mission the night before?
I say we take a little time to think about it and meet back up in an hour.
In an hour? I mean, I guess we could go try and map the sewers.
We do have 3 days to kill.
I mean, I feel like we should use our time more effectively than that.
Then prepare.
Just an hour to let us mull over the information and each make an informed decision.
We could also devise different strategies instead of just rushing headlong in. While I like doing that,
And that's kind of what reconnaissance is for.
I meant for average combat strategies, formations.
Asger will pull out the book.
I can't read.
I can read it to you.
Please.
Is that why you didn't like it originally? I gave you this months ago, and you just kind of held on to it, I think. I have more than one, but like, I'm pretty sure I saw you use it for time, at least a few times. Take the book behind the tree, and the tree afterwards, the book was a little lighter looking.
No.
Oh. Anyways, I prefer actual experience over what the book has to tell.
I mean, the book was written by people with actual experience. It's just
And
a
books
different
can be-
form of passing along information.
And books can be diluted with time.
I mean, so can memories?
Not recent ones.
You said with time.
Yes, but I'm also not immortal and I don't live for thousands of years. Or get
Books
rewritten
can.
by thousands of different people.
I mean,
This dialogue, Mila's going to return to her usual chaotic self and consider that she could leave the party to quibble, or she could try to go for a classic maneuver and just like looking at Shirku and just like,
Shirky doesn't say anything. He just
Give
silently
me a perception check and a stealth check.
Shirky just gives a thumbs up under the table.
What are you doing? Oh, no. Not that again.
Ask
is it
her.
a my perception check?
Yup.
Wait, what about me?
Also, ask her for your last message. Please go through. Strava, if you want to see it too, you can. Please include your message of I see a little small message, and I don't know if it's who it's about.
Oh, yeah, I can pass that. I can.
Oh,
I sent it when it was valid, but it's been a minute since you looked.
I didn't see it. Yeah, sorry. So Strava and Asker, you both noticed the Mila coming up to try and steal the.
It's like going deeper into the
Well, either way, regardless of this, we should probably get moving.
Let
Yes.
Mila fly around town and find possible entrances.
Make everybody worship her while she turns into that giant bird.
Oh, bird.
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure that worship would be the
Okay.
right word.
And,
Right. Well, anyways,
yeah, and so
Could be a
Mila,
good idea.
excited for something to do, we'll just run out the door and shift into like a very bright, like golden seagull, and start to fly around town.
but the problem here is, as I watch her leave, even if she flies around and just looks about, what we're looking for is underground tunnels,
I mean, tunnels have to have entrances somewhere, and she at
which
least
are likely
gets
going
a
to be hidden.
starting point. She has better eyes than the rest of us do. Would you like to go walk around the night dock area and possibly also find the entrance?
I wouldn't mind.
We can go do that then. Zastrava, would you mind joining us? I feel like
Problem is, I'd be recognized
How would you be
mean-
recognized?
because I was in the tavern, or whatever that building was. We got the mission.
I have to imagine that there are probably some cloaks around that we could borrow and keep the cowl low. We should be able to generally avoid detection. Granted, I feel like most everyone probably walks around the night docks looking like that. So I feel like
I
we would
have
just blend in.
Disguise kit we could use.
I don't really like the idea of hiding, but sure. That makes this day go faster.
You don't like the fact that I am so upfront with my identity all the time. But now that I'm trying not to be as upfront about my identity, you don't like the thought of hiding.
I don't brag about my identity.
I've never bragged about it. I just say who I am. People ask and I respond.
I just stare at Asger. How many times have you given everybody your full, middle, last title?
Hey Mila,
Uh,
can you give me a perception check? Sorry. You can keep
as
going.
often as it would be civilly normal to. Would you like me to give you a title, Turku, so that you also could, use
Just-
said title
It
in
just stares at her
speech?
some more. I don't care about titles.
So I rolled a 9.
Nice.
Titles are just pointless words. They don't mean anything.
Mila sees some bricks.
Lots of bricks.
Look, this one stall.
The bigger sons.
Another possible way to get in. You could always walk through the front door.
Yeah. He doesn't have a
Ow.
point.
We go in, we say, hey, you're working a mission. And there were some hitches, but we got to go back safe.
I
We
mean,
could do that.
that seems
And
oddly.
the girl didn't. And the girl wasn't dead. She didn't die.
Exactly.
We just lost her to the town guard when we tried to sneak her back into the city or something. Like,
We
what's
also
the
have
cover
ears.
plan here?
The package being alive and
Unharmed.
well is
We have
more
ears.
important because then he can use the package later.
Yes.
If the package was dead, she's dead.
And we're not supposed to come back or else they try to kill us.
So we have good side of it and not so good side. Sorry we didn't get
Are
to
we-
you.
Are we planning on going to see them beforehand to scout out the area?
That was my thoughts exactly. It allows you to see the area. We might get introduced to the Gravenholds. I don't know exactly how well it'll work. I don't know. It's an
It
idea.
might be nice to actually see who we're going to be trying to capture.
I
So we know
mean,
what they look like.
I guess that makes some level of tactical sense. It just seems like we're walking into the middle of the Viper's nest.
Isn't that the best way to gain information?
We've
Besides,
done
we
that
already
of
do that
worse.
quite often. We've done that 5 times already.
I don't have a crystal to summon backup now.
We didn't have a crystal summoned back up last time too.
Which last time?
We walked out of a nest.
I mean, we did have backup. She was standing outside. She's currently standing right there at the moment.
Yes. Speaking of, we do have backup. It's called a pirate.
That's fair.
I am
Oh.
here to help.
Did you want to go check on your boat, by the way? You haven't
They're
been back in a while.
fine.
Okay.
Shifts and
I
alliances are
may
tasty.
be the best one who can fight. But
I mean,
they can.
I assumed so, but also that just means that your boat doesn't have the best one on it, which seems concerning.
It's also a boat. We could always leave and come back later.
Why do all of you want to leave? Where do you all want to go?
I didn't say us. I meant
Oh.
them. They also have cannons.
I don't think cannons would work very well in the small confines of the city for trying to accurately destroy something.
Yeah.
I meant after the leave, but okay.
Why do you want to destroy the city? What
I
do you
didn't
have
say
against the city?
I didn't say anything about destroying the city.
You just said while we were leaving. What are you going to shoot the cannons at?
Anything that follows.
I think his boat is the only boat in the harbor at the moment.
Well, that we know of. And see. It could be hidden ones.
I feel like the person who would have hidden boats is currently sitting in front of us.
I have one
Unless
boat.
I'm talking about the Gravenholds.
They have a couple of boats.
See?
Not that many, though. My boat's better.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And like, while the bickening happens, Mila got slightly distracted from her mission. She noticed like, this stall smells like it has tasty bread. She watches for a bit to see how many coins the people hand over. And then she like pulls some from her pouch. And, like as a seagull hops over with the coin. Like holds it out. Waits patiently in line.
Nice.
Cypher, you've been really quiet, other than wanting an hour to go.
You had seen
brainstorm.
Cypher had kind of went and kind of exited and is now walking back. I'm assuming walking back now.
I went up to my room.
Yeah.
They aren't listening to my plan, so
I tried to help.
I know, Mila.
Even though Mila's not in on the plan, like doing things fast and sensible.
So should we plan first thing tomorrow to go see the Gravenholds? Hopefully see them before they leave their manor for the day?
And and use today as scouting.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
And we're settled. And Shirko gets up with that and leaves.
Strava, do you want to go tell Cypher that that's our plan? And I guess we'll come find them later.
Sure. So did Cypher go up to his room, or is he coming back from his room?
I'm probably coming back. I've got my book with me and all that.
I'll catch up to you in the hallway as you're coming back, being like, well, looks like we're gonna go scout the night docks.
And meanwhile, I'm looking for. Hi, Elizabeth.
Evelyn?
Anyways, Evelyn. Damn it.
Need to write these down for yourself, I'm telling you.
Yes, I do. I am always horrible with names. Yes, I find Evelyn, and do you have any extra robes that I could borrow?
Robes? Or robes?
Robes. To hide myself as I go to the night docks. So people know who I am.
Yes, but I don't know if they'll fit you.
Fair enough.
As she like looks to her, who slim, diminutive elf lady, to you, giant half orc, half drow.
No, it's still an idea. Thanks anyways.
Sorry, I can't be of more assistance.
No, that's fine. If there's anything I can assist with on this side, just let me know. We've done quite a bit to help this. You've helped us quite a bit, so we might as well repay the favor at some point.
Well, I appreciate that. Sorry, I can't help more there. Cypher, I do want to point out that you have used up now 3 level 3 spells.
Yes.
Okay, making sure you're marking those.
Uh-oh.
Your face. You show a lot of concern.
I'm
Yep.
very concerned. Asger doesn't know what I know, and I'm concerned that you spent that many level 3 spells already. I was worried about spending 1 level 2 spell earlier.
And yeah,
That's good. I'm
Mila
curious
just-
what you spent them on.
hops up on the counter, puts the coin down, and
He's still there.
flutters the wings and nabs.
Would you get me a
Nabs the
Dr.
bread bun.
Pepper sometime?
What did you set down?
Coin. Like I watched to see like how much people were paying. I'm not a thief bird. I put the coin and I take the bread.
The birds, they're evolving.
You work
Yes.
for the bourgeoisie.
Feed into the whole intelligent crows vine whatever thing.
Yes, with that, I'm gonna start leaving the building. So thanking everyone.
So you head out, and you're heading to go through and search around the night docks.
Yep, I'm gonna scout around the night docks. Yay, patrol! Mila could probably see me.
Give me a perception check, Shirku.
Perception check would be done. Ooh, crit 20.
So you start walking around, and you're like kind of plotting the path. You don't see the seagull anywhere at all. No
I'm not
flying
looking
around or anything like that, but you're kind of getting, because you know where the inn is, and you kind of go through and you start plotting around different. There's a lot of sewer entrances, like a lot of them around it. Like there's probably a couple of different ways to get down there. But it's been about 20-30 minutes since you left, and you actually see a group of about 6 people exiting the inn, pulling cloaks over, and you know when someone's dressed for a battle. These are 6 people who are heading with a mission out. Just to go through. It looks like one of them, names. One of them is Mikhail, who had hired you. There's also a lady that's walking next to him, just like about 5 inches or so taller than him, and he's not a short guy, like he's 5'8" or so. She's at the 6'3", 6'2" area. Built pretty strong. No weapons on her, actually. Those two are leading it. They have a third one with them who is about 6'5" or so, taller gentleman. And like, she looks built. He looks like you. Very similar, like they're bulging muscles. Let's see what is. Sorry, 1 second while I look for. That's the word I was looking for. To see what he's carrying. He does have his shield in one hand, and then he has a spear in the other one, actually. A nasty looking spear. And then there's also 3 others who look more like mookish, and they are heading north. North of the night docks.
North.
And it looks as what are you doing with them?
I'm curious now, so
Also, can you give me a stealth check?
okay.
Just
Not very stealthy though.
because Mikhail knows you.
And he does. That's right, stealth's down here. No!
Oof.
No!
Well, wow, at least you went from a nat 20 to a nat 1.
It's not a
That's
nat,
not even
is
that,
it?
That's not a nat one.
Oh no, sorry, 3.
Yeah.
And he rolled a nat 20. He does, like, he notices you, looks you up and down, and he recognizes you, and keeps going.
When he does, I just give him a nod and just let him pass by.
Also, as he's going and you watch as he starts to cross the bridge, you hear, and you barely are able to turn around in time to see behind you one of the sewer grates closing, and just a little double check. Actually, it's gonna be one of your favorites. Dark Elf closing the gate, mask covered up the bottom half of the face, looking around, not noticing that you've seen, and just starts walking and heading north, but on a different, to a different part of the town.
Curious.
So what are you doing, Shirku? Anything?
I know our current mission has to do with this family, and I'm curious where they're going. I'm most curious where this Dark Elf's going. So I'm going to actually follow the Dark Elf.
Okay. Dark Elf goes through, heads north, and he's not taking pretty standard normal routes. He's basically parkouring through the darker parts of the city and moving quickly. Give me a acrobatics or athletics check to keep pace.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. You start to lose him. You're going through and trying to keep up. He's not really paying attention to you, which is probably a good thing in your heavy armor. You want to give me a perception check to try not to lose him?
Sounds good for me. Ooh.
Very nice. So, losing him a little bit means that you're actually staying far enough away that he's not really able to notice that you're tailing him. Where's everyone who's still at the shop / in the mansion at? Is everyone inside the mansion right now? Besides Mila, maybe? Mila, where are you at?
back wandering the town reinvigorated with some munchins.
With some raid. Give me a perception check.
Do 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 do.
That's a lot better than the last one.
You're just not yourself when you're hungry.
It's
And
true.
I stopped and I noticed I was very with myself.
You actually see the group of 6, and you can easily tell. You see the weapons. They're looking for a fight. You see the group of 6 of them going over the bridge and heading straight to the Black Quill.
Okay, we're going to be following them.
You go.
Seagulls are great for gliding.
They are. They go walk up to it, open the door since middle of the day, bookstore's open. The 3 of them, the 3 of the bigger ones lead in, and then the 3 that were the little more, they're moogs, kind of just half circle around the front door and close the door behind them.
Pretty soon, I imagine Asger and Zastrava are going to be walking out. We sent Shirku ahead, but I think we were also going to be leaving to go scout around a bit.
Yeah.
You guys...
I would probably be going with them.
Okay. You guys head out of the mansion just as these 3 guests enter. Looking around.
Asger will just call back and you have some people in the store.
Evelyn's already out at the counter.
Oh, okay.
Before we head out, I probably would have given like Cypher and Asger some inspiration.
Okay.
So to help us on our journey.
As they kind of enter and look around, and you guys are entering too, Mikhail looks over. Interesting. Good to see you again, Evelyn. It's a pleasure as always. How can I help
I
you?
do an insight on that.
Would we recognize these are the Gravenholds?
Yes. Actually, Mikhail is actually the one that gave you guys the job.
Right. He's the one that's married to the oldest daughter, right?
Yep. And
Being as I do.
you are on the are you just perched on the top of the roof?
On some sort of I don't know if they have any, like you have for your windows, you have that little rain
Sill?
cover, anything like that. Yeah, you have
Okay.
like a sill or whatnot.
And yeah, he's the one who's married to Mia Gravenhold.
Mhm.
Interesting that you're here. As he looks to you, the 3. He doesn't really know Asger. Evelyn, we were informed and tipped off. You have some people trying to cause a trouble here staying with you. Are these the ones? There's no one trying to cause trouble here. Evelyn, your shop's been blessed. We've never really tried to go through... It's tough times, though. It'd be a shame if people were to go and stop having issues at a bookstore. Patrons coming, losing an arm. How would your business survive that reputation?
I don't think you should be taking that tone with one of the longest standing, most reputable business owners in this town. Not to mention, we had just done you a big favor. We got that lovely little one back safe. Why are you coming in here causing such a stir?
We were tipped off from a powerful source that Evelyn is hoarding some people who are trying to kill the Gravenholds. And
Why would anybody be trying to kill the Gravenholds?
So how would someone lose an arm in a bookstore?
A paper cut, obviously.
I love bookstores, and the worst I've ever seen is like a minor paper cut.
if a shelf falls on someone's arm and they're not strong enough, that arm would be amputated.
I mean, it would take a lot of force to throw over a bookshelf.
Or a little. And as that said, Marcus Gravenhold just easily tips over the bookshelf, just looks splattering.
Wait, do we know that this is Marcus?
You don't? Now you do.
Ah.
This
Wait,
is
who are the other? There's him, Mikhail, and who are the others with him?
there's only 3 of them there in there, and it's a taller lady, 6'2", 6'2", 6'3", no weapons on her whatsoever.
Know exactly who that is.
The wife, I'm guessing, to the Mikhail.
Mikhail? Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, Marcus is, I mean, he's strong, but that bookshelf just fell over so easily. It's a damn shame. I'm so glad that no one was underneath it this time.
Why would you do that to a bookshelf? What about all the books you just heard?
I'm gonna look back to Evelyn and be like, this shop is insured, right?
I don't think insurance exists.
I mean, not insured, but like insured. Like safe to do things in and won't hurt the rest of the things. Like I'm kind of like winking at Evelyn and being like, it's okay to do shit in here, right?
I mean, things happen. If my shop gets destroyed, my shop gets destroyed. I wouldn't be very happy about that.
We have a lifetime to repay you.
Now I'm going to cut away. Shirku,
Yes.
you're trailing the assassin.
Oh,
Here.
this is an assassin?
You're about 60 feet away. You don't happen to know whose house it is, but he finds a house and then quickly, and like it looks like it's one of the nicer ones. It's like not super, someone who makes a decent amount of money that lives here. It's simpler, but it's just very tidy.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch as this dark elf leans himself down, looks into the window, and with your natural 20 perception earlier, natural 25 perception earlier, you see the glint of the lieutenant's shoulder badge as the dark elf levels a hand crossbow and fires. And with that, I think we'll be coming back to this next week.
Whoa.
I thank you all for coming and having a great time. I hope you all did.
Aw.
We'll have an interesting session next session. We'll see how things go.
Mhm.
I gotta make Evelyn's bookstore. I didn't have that made and ready for this. I didn't expect
No
this.
worries.
How dare you?
No, I think it's great. And yeah, I don't know how to fully convey it, but like Mila's very intently like looking at Evelyn, just like waiting.
You'll also, before I forget, because I just looked over and seen, Cypher, you get 2 fate points. Strava, you get 4 fate points.
Nice.
Cypher wouldn't have anything to do with this, would he?
No,
No 3rd level sending spells?
no.
Thank you all very much for coming in today. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you all had fun, and is it Tuesday yet? Bye-bye.